There is only one. It's time to play the game. Time to play the game! It's all about the game, and how you play it, all about control. If you can take it.
Welcome back, everybody, to Damage 365 Radio. This is episode 9. We apologize, we were not able to provide a show for you last week as we had some tragic issues in the Damage family. As many of you know, I lost my mom and my grandmother on Saturday. My mother Saturday morning and my grandmother Saturday night. So we've been tied up with wakes and funerals and ceremonies and services and things along that nature. So we're sorry we weren't able to bring you a program last Sunday, but we will try to make it up by having a great program this Sunday. I'm Coach Kev. JT is in the house with us this week.
The real number 8. Glad to be back.
As you remember the last show, he was not with us, and Nancy filled in for him admirably.
Been gone for too long.
We're going to have a great show this week. As we said, we're going to cover some NHL final recaps, some NBA final recaps, our Intercontinental Championship Round 2, which can be viewed on our Facebook page, facebook.com/damage365. We're going to talk a little bit about Mets baseball. We're going to get into some wrestling, a couple of shout-outs. So that's pretty much our program for today. So let's, without further ado, we're gonna bring in JT right now, and he's gonna go over first the recap of what's going on with the NHL Finals.
Yes, the NHL Finals. We finally have Stanley Cup contenders last night with the Chicago Blackhawks winning in overtime. Patrick 3 goals, a hat trick. He scored it in the second overtime with 11:44 remaining, and he has sent his team wailing into the finals, knocking off the defending Stanley Cup champion Los Angeles Kings. I mean, it was a great series. With Boston too. They swept the Penguins. I mean, who's seen that coming?
Yeah. The Kings played like champions though. They played like defending champions.
They did, but they were overpowered. I mean, that first line with Jonathan Taves, Patrick Kane, Marian Hossa, they got too much power right there on the Blackhawks. And first game is Wednesday night, 8 p.m. So tune in, check it out, because it's going to be a hard slobber knocker, in the words of JR. It's going to be a slobber knocker. I can guarantee you that.
Oh my God, it's going to be a slobber knocker of a hockey game.
Unbelievable.
We'll just slap on some barbecue sauce.
Yeah, just a little bit. And the Bruins, they look strong as well. They got some players. I don't know if most of you follow hockey or not, but they have good first, second, third, and fourth line. Their goalie Tuukka Rask is playing out of his mind, kind of just like the San Antonio Spurs, who had beat in Game 1 the defending NBA champion Miami Heat, who everybody and their mother and their aunts and uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters are picking to win the finals, but not me.
So Team AARP defeated Team Superstar.
Team Superstar, yeah, the All-Star team. They got the best three-point shooter in the history of the NBA. No one's ever made more threes than Ray Allen, but I think my little cousin made more threes than Ray Allen did a couple nights ago.
Well, my brother Spencer's happy being a Spurs fan back in the day of Robinson and Sean Elliott and those guys back then, pre-Duncan, pre-Ginobili.
Avery Johnson
when he was a player, not a coach. So he drove back to North Carolina today, so he was a happy camper going back to North Carolina knowing that his team was up 1-0 in the finals.
Wasn't Duncan in his rookie year, didn't he get Robinson his first ring? Wasn't that David Robinson's first ring when Tim Duncan came in?
I do believe that's correct.
I believe so, yeah. They had a good team, and Tim Duncan is still dunking, and he's blocking. If you've seen the New York Post the day after Game 1, boy, LeBron James looked like he caught a left hook from Muhammad Ali. but it was just Tim Duncan coming from over the back, swatting the ball. So that's Tim blocking for you, not Duncan, because I don't really see him dunk anymore. But
Duncan Dunkman doesn't dunk.
Tim Duncan blocking. LBJ, step your game up. You're the king, right? You're King James. Show him you're the king. You need to take charge. I mean, you got help. You got Dwayne Wade there. I mean, and he's still got game. People say, you know, he's getting old. He's fell off. Smush. I don't want to hear it. Dwayne Wade's still a player.
Dwayne Wade's still a player. Right now, LeBron looks like a court jester rather than a king. But we know how that can change in a heartbeat.
I still think he's the best player in the NBA.
He is. It pains me to say that, but
me too.
You know, I have a friend on Facebook, Orlando, who's a Knicks fan, but he's all over the LeBron James fandom. And you know, I even told him early in the season. I said, you know, it pains me to say that I thought Miami was going to win the championship. I didn't see anybody standing in their way at all, especially from the Eastern Conference. But
well, they got a Frenchman standing in their way.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Mr. Parker, Eva Longoria, and you said you let that one go.
Let's see if the king could defeat the teardrop. So.
I doubt it. I say Spurs in 6.
Spurs in 6.
Spurs in 6.
For my brother, I hope the Spurs do win. I could care less how long it goes. Basketball season is out of basketball. That's my least favorite sport of the 4 major sports. And hockey, I love hockey. It's my second favorite sport, but I'm having a hard time watching the NHL finals when it's 92 degrees outside. So,
turn your air conditioning on.
Let's move on to the Damage 365 Radio Intercontinental Championship tournament that we are conducting. We move into round 2, and we had some really, really interesting matches that occurred in round 1. Some round 1 matches that were like unbelievable. Including CM Punk versus the Ultimate Warrior in round 1, and the match went 3 draws until CM Punk was able to pull it out in the 3rd draw,
unbelievable,
defeating the Ultimate Warrior. So right now we move into round 2, and we got Randy Orton taking on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Shawn Michaels taking on Bret the Hitman Hart,
that's a good
where
one.
we have seen that before. The show-off Dolph Ziggler takes on TNA's Austin Aries. Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson, moving on to the 2nd round, will take on Daniel Bryan, one of my favorite wrestlers. Jeff Hardy takes on his TNA mate, Kurt Angle. That should be a really good match between the wrestling techniques of Kurt Angle and the high-flying ability of Jeff Hardy.
Ankle locks and swanton bombs.
There you go. Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, takes on former 4 Horsemen member Dean Malenko, a guy that's kind of forgotten in the wrestling world, but one of the best wrestlers ever.
Yeah.
As far as mat technician, Owen Hart, the late Owen Hart takes on the longest reigning and self-proclaimed best Intercontinental Champion of all time, the Honky Tonk Man, as he defeated Edge in round 1. I was shocked when I saw that. Rob Van Dam, Mr. Friday Night, takes on CM Punk, who was able to beat the Ultimate Warrior in 3 draws. The first ever Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson, takes on the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. That should be an interesting matchup.
Definitely.
Sting, the franchise, Sting, takes on also current TNA mate, Christian York. Jonathan probably don't know much about Christian York, but he's
I know about Sting.
Decent wrestler.
Sting's got nice hair.
Former 4 Horseman Tully Blanchard takes on El Generico. He's an NXT guy. We'll be seeing him soon in WWE.
Up and comer.
AJ Styles, TNA's AJ Styles, takes on Jerry the King Lawler. Whew. So let's see if old school can beat new school. Greg the Hammer Valentine takes on Alberto Del Rio. And the first ever female champion, Chyna, who defeated Tito Santana in round 1 and moves on to take on the Ravishing One, Rick Rude.
That's going to be a good one.
That should be a good one, because they probably weigh about the same thing. So.
Go China.
Jake the Snake Roberts takes on Mr. Perfect. And our last bracket, Jeff Jarrett. TNA's Jeff Jarrett takes on the Macho Man, Randy Savage. So that should also be a really, really good bracket right there in round 2.
Who are you picking to come out of this one?
It's hard, because every bracket I've ever seen on the internet, Macho Man Randy Savage has won.
Really?
And it's not even done by Macho Man Randy Savage pages. I mean, it's just, that's what kind of Intercontinental Champion he was. He fought everybody, took on everybody, and he took on all comers, and he was just that damn good in the ring. But
can you imagine China comes out on top?
Woman. Most guys would like if China came out on top.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, moving on to our next
one.
segment. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Oregon version of Meet the Mets, as we will go over, I can't even call it baseball, to quote Bob Uecker from Major League, welcome to Major League Baseball, sort of.
We've got a collection of guys on the field.
Mets baseball, what can you say besides, ugh? But 20 innings yesterday. Lost to the Marlins.
10 today.
10 innings today.
Lost to the Marlins.
Lose 8-4 to the Marlins. Haven't beat the Marlins since Miami became a state. I'm sorry, Miami was not even a state. Florida.
You would think so.
See, I'm so shell shocked from watching this team be awful. I just don't know what to do anymore. I mean, when is it time to say enough's enough? When is it going to say that the fans are going to be, look, Will Ponds, look, we understand you're the owners, but when are you going to stop insulting the intelligence of Met fans everywhere? We know that this is not a Major League quality team. Don't put this product on the field and expect us to think that this is a Major League quality team, that this team can compete. Forget about Major League Baseball, just look in their own division. Okay, the Marlins are the worst team in baseball, and they've won more than like 60% of their games this year against the Mets. And if they didn't beat anybody else, the Mets would be in last place and the worst in baseball right now.
Miami's won 7 out of 8 against the Mets this year. Against the rest of the league, they have 10 wins. They have 41 losses.
I mean, that's...
You know how many hands I need to count their losses?
17 wins on the season and 7 of them against the Mets. I mean, that's
unbelievable.
That's ridiculous.
Meet the Mets, beat the Mets.
Yep.
Every time you see the Mets,
step right up and defeat the Mets.
It's like the Marlins think they're the '96 Yankees when they come and play the Mets.
See, and this was the big news story that came out this morning, that the Mets released Rick Ankiel and recalled Captain Kirk Nieuwenhuis.
Yeah, I think it was a bad move. I like Captain Kirk, but...
I like Kirk Nieuwenhuis, too.
I like Ankiel.
I like Ankiel.
He's got pop in the bat.
I mean, yeah, I know he strikes out, but you really think Kirk Nieuwenhuis is really going to be putting up that much more numbers than Rick Ankiel?
I don't think anyone's really going to make a difference this year, except the phenom, Mr. Harvey.
Mr. Harvey. Yeah, another guy with no decision. Even today, John Neese pitched beautiful.
I know.
Pitched beautiful.
103 pitches. This guy threw 79 strikes.
I mean, it's just, you can't blame the pitching staff. You cannot blame the starting staff. I mean, even in the 20-inning game, Sean Markham threw 8 innings and gave up 1 run and got the loss. So, if you combine the 4 starting pitchers that pitched in that 20-inning game, you had who started that game? Harvey?
Yeah.
You had Harvey. You had Fernandez for the Marlins. Kevin Slowey, who pitched, I think, 7 or 8 innings himself.
Pitched lights out.
And Markham, 8 innings. You had 4 quality starts in one game. Some teams don't get 4 quality starts in a week.
I know.
Had them in one game.
And isn't that Markham's 7th loss?
He's pitched a lot better than his record.
He's pitched great.
His ERA is in the mid fours, which you're a number 4 starter, number 5 starter. The Mets have survived and made playoffs with guys like Steve Troxel and Oliver Perez and John Maine and stuff like that. So I mean, Sean Markham's not a bad pitcher, and I still think he's needs 1 more year to regain the strength he lost in the shoulder and everything else from Tommy John, and then he had shoulder surgery. So.
I understand, but I think the Met fans are sick and tired of 1 more year. It's
1 more year.
Been 1 more year for the past 27 years.
It's always see you next year. It's always next year's all year. It's like the Family Guy episode. Welcome to opening day, and here's the first pitch. Season's over.
See you next year.
It's like, come on, really? I mean, enough's enough.
It's a sad thing.
But we're going to get into our next segment, which is I'm looking forward to, because we're jumping right into wrestling, and we're not. Some people thought that we were going to shy away from wrestling and we weren't going to do any more wrestling. I don't know why they thought that. We are going to continue doing wrestling on the program.
We're not going to upset you guys.
And even if we stretch it out to a 45-minute program, we're going to concentrate on wrestling just as much. We're going to give it, instead of 10 minutes, we'll do like 15 minutes.
Just want to broaden our horizons.
Yeah, I mean, I sit there and watch Monday Night Raw. I mean, you think I'm watching Monday Night Raw because I got nothing better to do? I watch Monday Night Raw because I enjoy it and gives us material to talk about.
And I'll be watching Monday Night Football in a couple of months while he's watching Raw, so he can cover both.
There you go. DVR. It's a beautiful thing. Picture-in-picture.
Hopefully the Jets can win.
Oh, God.
Geno Smith.
That's a different topic for a whole different day.
And Marky Mark.
So let's get into this guy because I'm very curious to see where this is going to go, and you know, I'm starting to enjoy wrestling getting back into the stables like the Shield and like old school NWO and Four Horsemen, the Hart Foundation, things like that. So I'm really curious to see where this is going to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
What you know about that, ladies and gentlemen?
How about that smash mix right there? I can see Nancy's probably crawling up a wall right now, freaking out.
What are you doing?
Oh my God, I love it. As many as you know, CM Punk will be coming back probably this week on Monday Night Raw. I look forward to it. But I will say that I am enjoying the stable that Paul Heyman, who I still say is a genius, is he's creating. He's got Brock Lesnar. He's got CM Punk. I guess he's kind of got the Shield in his pocket too, because he's the one that kind of brought him here and introduced him to the onslaught of ass kicking of John Cena.
Kick everyone's ass.
So one of the conversations that I want to see is like, is he the next Bobby Heenan family? You remember Bobby Heenan? He had Andre the Giant and Haku and numerous wrestlers, and he had championships all over the place. Like, is this the next Heenan family? Like, is WWE gonna let Paul Heyman kind of have his own chapter of the WWE and a bulk of talent where, you know, he's able to mold them? Because again, anybody who knows anything about wrestling knows that Paul Heyman is a smart man. He's a shrewd businessman. He knows what he's doing.
Puts asses in the seats.
He puts asses in the seats. He's a great entertainer. You know, anybody wants to sit there, oh, well, yeah, he had ECW and blah, 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 blah. Look at all the talent that came out of ECW. The Eddie Guerreros, the Chavo Guerreros, the
CM Punk,
the Chris Benoits, the Chris Jerichos. All these guys came out of ECW and were basically coaxed into WCW at the time, which eventually McMahon owned all of it.
Remember the Dudley Boys?
I mean, but yeah, these are guys that he created. You know, he founded these guys. He trained these guys. He gave them confidence. Told them, look, you know, you stick with me, we're gonna go a long way. We're gonna do it. So I'm hoping. I really am. I'm really hoping that that Paul Heyman, you know, gets the go to have his own stable of great wrestlers. I mean, now he's got Curtis Axel, which everybody pretty much knows. He's the son of the late Chris Hennig, Mr. Perfect, and grandson of Larry the Axe Hennig, and that's how he got the name Curtis Axel. I'm not going to say how many times I can screw that up. Curtis Axel.
Try and say 5 times as fast.
Yeah, I heard Michael Cole screwed it up about 5 times last week on Raw. Called him like Angle like 3 times.
And he's getting paid for it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Michael Cole.
Go figure. So I was like coming up with possibilities of like, who do you think would be the next stable member to join Paul Heyman? Who's the next guy who's going to be a Paul Heyman guy? The guy's going to say, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. A guy that's going to walk down the ring to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
I don't know. I mean, I'm very big on the third generation and multi-generational wrestlers. Ted DiBiase Jr., Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton.
Good choices.
I
like the Orton.
See, I don't think Randy Orton would do it because Randy Orton right now is too much of a draw as an individual, and then you have the whole him RKO and Daniel Bryan the other night. So I that's kind of his walk in towards becoming a heel, and probably going to fight Daniel Bryan or something. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I hope not. I really don't want to see a Daniel Bryan Randy Orton match. I want to see Daniel Bryan actually fight like some guys that he can wrestle and fly around the ring and do his thing, because he's freaking awesome at what he does. So I really like it. But I'm just a couple of guys. So if you guys want to, this is what you guys can do. Tweet in your picks of who you think will be the next stable member of Paul Heyman. Now remember, please do not tag Paul Heyman or the wrestlers when you do this. So we're at Damage Athletics. Throw us your pick. Hashtag it Damage 365 Radio Stable. And I would definitely love to check that out, and I would definitely love to talk about that next week and see how many different people that we can get calling in or sending in their tweets of their guys, because maybe our ideas and maybe we can influence somebody else, because wrestlers are on Twitter, they do read stuff, and
check us out.
Paul Heyman's a cool guy, and he tweets people back once in a while or retweets their stuff. And
should we tweet him?
I've tweeted him in the past, and I've told him that anybody who thinks he's not great, if not one of the best at what he does, is just nonsense. It's just silly, and they have absolutely no knowledge of the business or the entertainment value of wrestling, because he's that damn good. And I mean, and he's fun to hate. That's what makes it really good, is because everybody loves to hate him, and
I love to hate him.
That's the whole point.
Hate his hair.
It was like Bob. That's why I said it was almost like Bobby Heenan. Everybody hated Bobby Heenan. Why? Because Bobby Heenan brought in talent. Bobby Heenan surrounded himself with great wrestlers, and
he was the brain
and champion. Yeah, it was Bobby the Brain Heenan, Bobby the Weasel Heenan.
We should tweet Paul Heyman and get his ass in the studio.
Yeah, right.
I bet you listeners would love it.
If we get him to call in, that'd be cool. I don't think anything.
Let's get him in the studio.
Squeeze him in between us. Barely have enough room for my fat ass.
We could figure something out.
Plus, I don't know if my dog's ready to give up the couch.
We'll broadcast from the backyard.
We'll have to broadcast from Heyman Hustle's house.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to see what happens.
Start the show with "I am Paul Heyman."
Oh, that would be great.
That would be great.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
And I'm here to do Damage 365 Internet Radio.
That'd be great. So
say your prayers for us, guys.
I'm definitely gonna announce my pick of who I think is gonna be the next stable member, and man, would I really love for that to happen. So we'll announce that momentarily.
Soon enough.
At this time, though, we'd like to give a couple of shout-outs. I'd like to give a happy birthday shout-out to one of Damage's all-time greats, Hall of Famer, my best friend, someone that was there for me through thick and thin, someone who was there for me when when I went through what I did this past weekend. Happy birthday to Jessica Harbeck LaRoche, Damage Hall of Famer, like I said. Two-time Damage champion, two-time female MVP.
2 times more than me.
Okay, awesome. One of the best female outfielders we ever had in our 20 years of softball.
So you happy birthday, Jessica.
Okay, and also back on Damage Athletics softball next weekend, of course, weather providing. So it's hope by accident we can get some games in this weekend. 8 and 10 o'clock at Wagner College versus the Nightmares. This is a doubleheader. We played them one game earlier this year, and
It's actually our last victory.
it's our last win that we've had.
If you guys are listening, 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, it'll be 6 by the time we play it.
Let's get 2 more. Please.
You got any shout-outs?
Do I get any shout-outs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can shout out. I got a birthday shout out.
Yeah, man, lay it on.
Coming up soon. He just got sloshed at his surprise party on Friday.
Oh, I know.
My brother, Steve Torrey, is going to be 25 years old. Coming soon. Happy birthday, bro.
I heard he collapsed like an oak tree filled with vodka.
He collapsed like... Oh, God. I'm not even going to say it.
You look like the ticket tree. What was that? What's that commercial where they have the tree that gives like game tickets, season tickets, and he gives them too much coffee, and the guy's like, spin tickets everywhere.
It was something like that, yeah. You're a Tory, Steve. Learn how to hold your liquor, my friend. Please. Just stand up straight. Boy, you're going to love your birthday pictures when you see them.
Oh, man.
Cake to the face and everything.
I also want to give a shout out to all the people that were able to show give their respects at the wakes on Tuesday and the funeral on Wednesday. My entire softball team, thank you very much. James Verrucchio's Ballbusters, Vinny Ventrone, Nicole Castano, and that entire team. Thank you very much for sending the edible arrangements fruit basket. It was a very nice thing to do. Alumni Softball League, thank you for the flower arrangement. Rabs Country Lanes for the edible arrangements basket. Gang Green Softball, my Sunday team, thank you very much again for the flower arrangements. And numerous softball players that showed their respects. The Paulino family for the flowers. And all my friends from back in the day, I really appreciate it. You don't understand how much it meant to me to see you guys come and pay respects to my mom. My mom was an integral part of my life and taught me a lot of things besides baseball. She taught me a lot about life, and she was a life coach to me. She was a life coach to many, many people in the greeting card business. I am not going to read what I wrote and read at the funeral because I just can't do that right now, but it can be viewed on my Facebook page. If anybody wants to friend request me that's a fan of the show, facebook.com/NASTA, N-A-S-T-A. Gladly accept your friendship. If you're a friend of Damage 365, you're a friend of mine. And Tommy Christopher, I'd like to thank him. He's actually one of the guys we're playing this week. He came to the afternoon viewing. I'd say thank you very much. Players from the Furials, Dave Levine, Mike Fury, and I can never remember Mike Fury's girlfriend's name. Oh my God!
Is it Mary?
No, I don't know. I can't remember her name, but she knows who she is. She's a fan of the show, so thank you very much. Mike Fury's girlfriend, who I can't remember your name, but your kneecap is all better.
Thank God for that. I prayed for you.
And of course, all the players on our current team and teams from the past, and Sam Luttrell from Gang Green, who came down and visited us, and all my family and all my friends. And I hate to be on a downer at the end of the show, but you knew it was going to happen, so. I love you guys. I love all my friends. Love all my family. I love you, Mom. I thank everybody for the love and support. And I thank this guy next to me, the guy John Torrey.
I'm always here.
He's been there since the minute I found out to the minute that it was all over. He's been there for me, and good friend, good cousin, good coworker. Sometimes not the smartest guy in the world.
Good softball player.
And
good pitcher, but I don't get the pitch.
That's because you're not a Paul Heyman guy.
I'm not.
Say, if you're a Paul Heyman guy, you definitely know.
I am John Torrey. Need some theme music.
Yeah, I'll get it for you. So,
maybe Cinderella.
We're going off the air now, so, we'll see you guys next week. Same time,
Same place.
Same station, same link.
Hopefully we're not talking about a rain out.
Same bat channel. And don't forget, because I didn't forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name
My stable member
is Paul Heyman.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.